Ongoing drought continues to take a toll on producers across the western U.S., causing some livestock owners to sell more animals than normal. When that happens, special tax rules can apply to address the additional income triggered by the excess sales. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now with the latest. Roger, so good to have you with us. Now, involuntary conversion is one of the strategies producers can use. How exactly does that work?
Well, Tammy, good to be with you today. If a farmer sells livestock other than poultry for draft, dairy, or breeding purposes in excess of the number that would normally be sold during the time period, then that sale or exchange of the excess number can be treated as a non-taxable involuntary conversion if the sale occurred because of drought or flood or fire or any other weather-related condition. And so those livestock exchanged have to be replaced within 2 years after the year in which the proceeds were received with livestock that are similar or related in service or in use. In other words, dairy cows for dairy cows, so forth and so on. And they have to be held for the same purpose as the animals that were given up were held. And the tax is deferred until those replacement animals are sold. So the idea is so that you don't have a pileup of extra tax because of more livestock that are being sold when you're already going through the stress of a drought year.
Right. Now, what about using a one-year deferral?
Well, that one's a little easier. It's more straightforward and easier for people to understand. And under that provision, if a farmer, because of drought or other weather-related condition, disposes of livestock in excess of the number that would have been sold under usual business practices, then they can defer the reporting of the gain associated with the excess until the next year. A lot more straightforward, and more people actually use that rule than use the involuntary conversion rule.
So what's the biggest difference between these two rules?
Well, the big difference is under the involuntary conversion rule, you have to replace with like-kind livestock. That's the big difference. And you got 4 years to do that. You can replace with machinery, farm machinery and equipment. You have 2 years to do that. But you don't have to replace with anything if it's a one-year deferral.
So what's the biggest takeaway for producers today?
Well, the big takeaway is this is incredibly complex. There are other differences and nuances between the two rules, particularly with respect to the type of livestock that qualifies. So they need to be talking to their tax practitioner, that rural CPA, that rural attorney that deals with farm and ranch clients that knows this stuff and can help them make the right choice on what strategy to use when you're faced with excess sale of livestock because of drought or weather-related conditions.
It is complex, and that's why I'm glad we have you on board to help us kind of understand it better. That's Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. Appreciate your time and information today, Roger.